Yeah. The next to do it in my city, they know it. High level conversations with politicians and lawyers.
Good people, welcome back. Welcome back to the Casting Pearls. My name is Jory Miller, and I am excited to be before you again with another episode of Casting Pearls. Today, I have the honor of having my good friend and brother, Mahan. He is an awesome real estate investor. He resides in the Hampton Roads area, and he's been killing it in real estate. I can't wait to have him tell his story to you all, Cast Pearls, so you all can be blessed and be able to flourish and prosper and do all that good stuff, right? Because he has some gems, right, that he's going to drop. Real quick, right? So as you all know, Casting Pearls, I'm all about just being transparent and giving you tools, equipping you with information, putting you in front of people in my network, people who I've sought after who have helped me or I think can help you. All right. So again, Casting Pearls, just trying to give you the jewels so you can go apply them and be great. All right. So I'll start this podcast by asking, well, one, again, reintroducing Mahan and letting you all know why I have him here in front of me. So, Mahan, just so you know, I sought you out one because like you are part of my story. You know, you are a part of my story. You are, I want to say, maybe one of the first and only one of the first people that are my age, and you're younger than me, right? But I've seen go through phases from agent to developing a team, right? To then being a broker. Now you're the CEO, right? And just you're a guy that people have to mention when they mention real estate in Hampton Roads,
Oh, thank
right?
you.
So now, so I saw, and I know you have a tremendous value. You've always been a go-getter, and I've always just really appreciated your consistency and your resilience, right?
Appreciate it.
And also your posture. You're very humble, right? But at the same time, you show up and you get results all in the same time.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
Mahan, how you doing today?
Well, I'm blessed. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I always respect you. I always you're one of my favorite people I always stay in contact with. Um,
Yeah.
and me being here today talking with you, it's an honor.
Awesome. Nah, definitely appreciate it, man. So Mahan, tell the people. So this is a little framework for my podcasting, right? That I've figured out. So we're gonna talk. I've already said the who. We're gonna get into the what and the why and the how, and get some expert advice from Mahan as it pertains to real estate and life and things like that. Again, the man has a lot of value to give. So Mahan, tell the people about your resume. Read off your resume. What's your occupation? What do the people of people who know you, they don't know you, what should they know you for?
Well, my I usually go by the fixer upper guy.
The
I
fixer
love
upper guy. Okay.
yes. I've built a brand around it. I've grown my company, Divin Real Estate Group, and at the same time, I built a personal brand, the Fixer Upper Guy, because I always wanted people to think of me when I think of a fixer upper home, and then I they could bring me the leads that we could convert into a potential projects, rental, fix and flips, or
Yeah.
a long-term multi-family commercial buy and hold. I'm 28 years old as of today. On about 128 rental units, valued around $17 million.
You do how many million?
The portfolio is valued about $17 million. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. And then we have pretty decent equity, and there is about 50% around that number in equity. So we bought them well below market value, and obviously slowly increased the value, and um, did some forced appreciation, and we bought them on the market value. So that's the reason we have a 50% equity um, or loan to value on our portfolio. And then
Mahan,
I
real quick.
go ahead.
So quick question, just gonna put a pause real quick. For people who don't know what loan to value, loan to value, market value, and forced appreciation, right?
Yes.
When it comes to real estate, can you expound on that for the people real quick?
Well, forced appreciation is one of my favorite strategies, and It's really doable with real estate where it's a tangible asset and you control the value of your assets, especially the ones that they haven't been improved over time, or they're not well kept, or they're mismanaged. Investors like myself, where we like to make improvement to the properties and keep them in good condition over time. What we do is we go ahead and buy a multifamily that's treated as a commercial building, and well, it's a commercial property and they're treated as a business. And we take those,
Mhm.
and by making improvements to the landscaping, to the exterior of the building, just overall quality of living conditions for the tenants, and getting to and reducing the expenses over time, we are increasing um, the revenue and reducing the expenses. So we are going to have better P&Ls. Better P&Ls in commercial building equals a higher value. So we force appreciate the property within a 6 month to a year. We increase the value by $1 million, $2 million, or $500,000 on commercial building. And then loan to value is the amount of loan that you get you know, uh, based on the value of the property. So 50% loan to value is 50% debt, 50% equity. Or that equity also includes the money that I personally put into it, includes the construction money that I put into it, and the difference profit that we made in between those numbers, all the costs aside, and then the new value. So I don't know if that makes sense.
Nice, nice, nice. Indeed. And just for simple numbers, what Mahan is saying on his portfolio, if his portfolio is worth 100,000, 50,000, with 50,000, he purchased the properties, he fixed them up, right? And he did not exceed $50,000. So he still has another $50,000 remaining in equity, right? So again, 50% loan to value. And that's a tremendous position to be in. Oh my God! Like that's again a tremendous position to be in.
Thank
A lot of people want to not exceed 70% loan to value or 75% loan to value. Crazy people don't want to exceed 80% of loan to value, which is insane to me when you're talking about acquisitions. But again, some people do what they have at different strategies, man. But awesome, bro. So man, so you own these properties and you reside in Hampton Roads, yeah?
Yeah, currently in Hampton Roads. I live in Virginia Beach, and I I really like this area. It's a great market for real estate investors. It's a great market for anybody to purchase and have a solid appreciation over time, just because of the supply and demand that we have in our market. That's
Mhm.
always short in supplies and always high in demand. This just kind of help people um, you know, just anybody to purchase a home and sell it at profit. Obviously, purchase at the right price and hold it a few years and then sell it with a profit. So I really like this area.
Nice, nice. So things haven't always been like this. Can you tell us about your come up story? Right. Tell us about your timeline. Where did it all begin for you?
Well, I came here in 2014. I started going to school. I went to ODU. I growing up in traditional families, where I come from, you only have like two options or three options. You have to become a doctor, you have to become a lawyer, or you have to become an engineer, right? So, according by that, with the
Right.
influence from the family, I started studying nursing, to be able to afford to go to medical school to become a doctor. And, after that, I wasn't prepared for how much it costs to go ahead and go to school and finish school, and I didn't really want to get student loans. And that's not something I just wanted to do at the time. So I decided to drop out and at the same time start community college with like a few um, credits to just keep it going while I just work and make money to save for school. And during that time, just having the financial hardships that I had, I was crashing on a friend's couch, just paying for the utilities. I wasn't able to get a job because I didn't have a car. I wasn't prepared to pay for how much it cost as an out-of-state student. So I dropped out, started looking for jobs, and took a few credits at a community college, which was in a different city. So I had to wake up at 5 a.m., take a bus to be able to go to the classes by 8 o'clock. So I had to change like three different um, buses before I could get to the community college, and I didn't have a car, so it was really hard to get a job. But I started going to the classes, and I started walking around. I would walk from Norfolk to Virginia Beach and ask every single gas station and places that I would see if they're hiring, and I would just get a copy of their application.
That's a far walk, by the way, for people who don't know. Like, were you like on Military Highway or something, or where were
Virginia
like?
Boulevard mostly, just coming up from Virginia Beach Boulevard, making a turn on Holland Road and South Independence, going up all the way to the beach.
Yeah, hey man, I salute you, bro. Even more, I didn't know that. I knew you had a story, man. So what happened once you got the job at the gas station?
Before I get a job, I had like $280 in my account. I always trusted God and His plans. I called my mom and I was crying, and I explained to her, I was like, hey, I don't want to come, I can't stay, and I don't want to give up
Mm.
because God brought me here for a reason. I just have to, maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I'm not putting myself in a position to, just kind of see his vision, see his plan for me. Just growing up, I didn't really ask for help a lot from the family. We're just more asking for advice. And that's just how I wanted it to be. So I did end up getting a job at a gas station. This is the story was I got on a bus. I didn't have money to pay the bus driver. So I said, hey, can I just get on and go to Virginia Beach with you? And I was just super, super just, I didn't have any more hopes left. So I got to the station,
Yeah,
and I started praying, and I said, God, I just this was a low moment for me. I said, hey, I saw a bird, and then, anytime I saw anything flying and I see it, I start praying. And I say, God, just kind of show me, like, let me to do something for me here. And then last gas station I went, the guy asked me, he was like, he pretended he's not the decision maker, but I asked him, hey, if he's hiring. He was like, yeah, but what's the first thing that you need to be do before you work behind my cash register? I told him honesty, and he was like, okay, we'll come back tomorrow. And then I keep calling and calling and calling. Finally, he gave me the job, and that was the first time I got a job. And when I got that job, I was able to then, in between the two shifts that I was working, ask the people that would come to the gas station, to the store, if they want their yard cut, or if they want, like, their people would take me to their houses. I would pack the stuff in their attic, or pack them, help them move stuff around, or cut their yard and stuff. And I would work from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. In between. I'll take some side jobs and then go back 6 p.m. to 12 a.m., 7 days a week, except Sundays.
nice. Okay, okay, man. So okay, so I'm gonna make a note here to ask you a question because I think this is really cool. And a little bit different about you. I think you have to have some intangible gifts and disciplines, right? So you, in order to get to where you go from $280 to 17 million, right?
Yeah.
So did you have like what were some key people who played a role in your life at this point, or some key books read, or just some moments that you remember vividly, right? Working alongside of people, maybe I don't know. You are married, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So I you know having a partner next to you that believes in you no matter what position you're in. And I think the fact that I had my wife next to me, and she always supported me, she always trusted me. It was for us, it was never about money. It was more of like the life we wanted to design, to live together. And we were willing to do whatever it takes together to be able to achieve that life that we wanted. The house, the lifestyle, not again anything with the possessions, just having that freedom to be able to do what we like to do with people we like to do at the time and at places we want to do it at. So, she always supported me. My wife always supported me. She would come to the gas station with me, and I used to work like a lot, so I would be exhausted in the mornings because I had like 18-hour shifts or 16-hour or 14 hours. And then so she would hold the register from 6 a.m. to 8 so I can sleep in the car, and then we would switch. Then she would go sit in the car or come sit in the gas station with me, and then I would just take on the register until I was done. Then we would go have some lunch and stuff, and then she would go home and she would come back and pick me up at night. And this was after I worked there for 6 months to a year, being able to save up some money to buy a 99 Honda Accord off of Craigslist. So then we can, commute between work and home to be able to keep the job. Per support during that time, it was the biggest blessing that I had because what I believe, and this is very important to me, the right partner could help you go places you can't imagine by giving you the confidence, by believing in you, by, just helping you get back on track. A lot of times, if you're not with the right partner, they will actually get you off track. They'll create mental challenges that you will lose focus. And when you lose focus, you're not able to focus on your dreams. You're going to get off track. And, it's very important to have the right partner. So keep that in mind that having the right partner really helped me just focus on improving. And we were both on the same page. I told you before, we would be in the cooler, filling up the cooler with beer and drinks, and at the same time listening to books like Brian Tracy or Rich Dad Poor Dad or any other book that I would find free on YouTube. I'll just play it. She would be taking notes, or I would be taking notes, and we'd go home and put it on the wall, or we would just, keep reading over it. I still have the notes from 2015, 2016. Um, and we would just do that, and starting reading those books kind of helped me to think, well, that's great, I got a job now, now we could afford to have a car, afford to rent a place, but this is not the life that we wanted. It's not to just kind of make $1,500 a month and then our expenses are 14.95. And then just wait for the next paycheck and the next paycheck and the next paycheck, and you can never do anything except just taking a ride to the ocean front, or just once a month go and have a dinner out. So we just feeding ourselves those helpful information over and over and over and again, and praying and asking God for guidance, asking God to show us the way to more blessings in life, more freedom financially, more happiness, and just kind of like living life the way that we wanted. And also taking action helped us, slowly transition from the gas station job and getting to like real estate, and keep the same work ethic and consistency, and never giving up, to a point that we keep building slowly over and over and over again, and support each other, because when
Mhm.
I'm out at home, I don't have to worry about anything,
So when
and
did you actually? You said you guys took action. Excuse. You said you guys took action, right? When the opportunity presented itself, you guys were praying for the opportunity. When? So I imagine the opportunity was real estate. So, did you always have knowledge of real estate and know what real estate can do for you, or like, so how did real estate again fall into your lap?
so when I started to take a step out of the gas station thing, so I was like, let me just quit and go become a server. And I did, and I got a really bad job, so I had to quit. And then we actually end up going to a extended stay, and we were staying there Then I got another serving job. While I was doing that, and we were just looking for a new place, which we did, and we prayed over it. And I told her, "Hey, I'm gonna get us a more expensive home that we can't even afford at the moment because I trust this something good is gonna happen soon." And we have to push ourselves. We have to be prepared for it. We have to be asking for it because
Right.
I'm not afraid of anything. I'm gonna make this work.
You said something that was very, most people don't put themselves in a situation, right, where they will go and have to get results, right? And it's not as though you put yourself in this situation in a financial, like kind of potential financial hardship, right, by going and get a bigger home, but it was a necessity, like, so like you didn't go and say, I'm gonna go buy a Lamborghini and we're gonna live in a Lamborghini and we're not gonna be homeless again because I'm gonna make this Lamborghini work. I'm gonna do what it takes to keep this thing. Again, like you did so out of survival, but again, putting yourself in a better situation. So can you talk me through real quick about the mentality that you had to possess in order to be okay with making that kind of decision and the decisions that followed that decision to get you where you are now?
You know, I really believe in taking educated risk,
Mhm.
and just trusting God. It's I knew for a fact I could like pick up a lot more shifts and support that. Just I believe putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation really help you grow if it's done right, and if it's done through like smart investments or smart type of moves or investing in your business. And I think that really comes with self-awareness. If I know myself, and if I know I can put myself on edge or survival mode for a certain amount of time, that's why, Steve Jobs, or I don't know who said it, say always stay hungry. If I put myself on that edge,
Mhm.
I'm gonna get into survival mode. And when a human being gets into survival mode, it's a different story, because now you are do or die. You're gonna do whatever it takes. There's no reason for any comfortable thoughts or action to come in play. You're gonna wake up at 5 a.m. You're gonna be out there until like 11 p.m. because you have to make it happen. And if you don't, you're gonna fail your family. So that I learned from when I started making some moves to put myself in that situation, educated, risks obviously, and that really helped me to grow in a short amount of time, because I was always money hungry, but I was never money focused. My focus was freedom. My focus was providing a life that I believe my wife and my children deserve. And I was willing to do whatever it takes to be able to achieve that. So long hours of work did not bother me. Just 1,000 different rejections did not bother me at all. So it was just matter of, I know it had to happen, and I will make it happen no matter what. And it's still this the same thing to this day.
So speaking of being the same thing to this day, do you think you're still in survival mode?
No, I
Can you
haven't.
this mindset, like can you click it on, click it off to do what you need to do, or get done what you need to get done, like get the result, like or again, like are you feel like you've arrived?
Um, I had a conversation with a friend. I set some goals about 3 to 5 years ago. Then I achieved those goals, and just kind of was a moment of um r- relaxation for me. Like, hey, I achieved those goals, and now I'm just gonna relax. And then immediately I felt lost, because I didn't feel like I have purpose. I didn't have anything to I didn't have anything to go after. So, in that
Right.
moment, I learned that I really like making progress. So that's why people say fell in love with the journey, not the destination. Because when you get to the destination, and especially if you set small goals, then you're just not going to feel fulfilled,
Mm.
because you just got there and that's it. So now I am in love with making progress, and falling in love with the journey. So like, I enjoy coming to the office. I enjoy coming in and closing deals and talking to the sellers or like making improvements to the properties. That's what I enjoy to do on a day to day. And I still do put myself in uncomfortable situations to be able to even push further and grow because we're always growing, we're always learning. I'm learning every single day, and there's new things that I learn still to this day. Um, and that really just was my new mentality. No matter how much money you're making, you shouldn't get uncomfortable to put it on the side. You still have to make sure everything is running smoothly and you're learning new things and you're adding more systems or more properties to be able to continue growing. You can never stop growing. It's just that's as a man, I think that's very important.
Nice, nice. So what are some things that like, you elevated, right? Over the because I left Virginia in 2019. And we were at one brokerage together, left one brokerage, went to another. But you went from Mahan the agent to Mahan the team having the team lead to Mahan the broker and now Mahan the CEO, right? What at what point along this timeline, this journey that really like catapult you? Like what happened in the investment real estate investment space, or you may realize that I don't want to do transactional real estate like the brokerage per se. I want to now focus on this. Like what are some things that made you want to shift, and what things made you be able to catapult your business?
Well, when I had a team, um, there was a lot of overhead. I had
Hmm.
like 10, 15 people at some point, and we were doing seven figures in income, but we had like a huge overhead, and like my hours were crazy, and it was a lot of people around me, a lot going on always at the same time that would drain my energy. And I was getting wrong advice from wrong people that were pushing me in a direction that will benefit them at the end. What really kind of got me going was, I want to keep my circle private and small. I want to only surround myself with people that they're achieve high levels of success in their life, starting from nothing, and they were able to achieve that. And I wanted to focus more on passive income because that's something that I wanted to do because it's mailbox money. It comes in every single month without you having to deal with as much as problems or as much as challenges that you would do with an active income producing business, right? So
Right.
that really just kind of got me to make a transition to become a full-time investor and just completely put the retail side on the side and just not really have a team. I mean, you could have systems and processes in place and have it, like a efficient team going and making money, but I was always passionate about numbers and just fixer uppers, just turning properties around. So I had to follow that vision, and I didn't really see myself managing other people, but I did see myself like, having some trusted people around me, a trusted property manager, a trusted acquisition manager, a trusted lender, and have good relationships with them and grow with them over time. And at the same time, purchase properties that stay there forever and produce income and grow in value, and the tenants pay down the loans, and I get tax benefit from them. So it wasn't really comparable. I had to sit down with myself and I, you know, really went over my vision. I prayed about it, and I knew that moment that that's the direction that I want to go. And that's the best decision I've ever made because um having financial freedom, just having that in the back of your head, it gives you a lot of confidence, a lot of peace of mind in life, especially with a family. And I'm happy I was able to achieve that. Also, when I had a real estate team, just getting involved in the whole everything that was going on in the market with like competing with other teams, it was a lot of ego. That's why we spent a lot of money on marketing and science and all the other stuff. It wasn't really confidence. It
Mhm.
was a lot of work, smaller payday, but again, high volume of sales. But now it's more about confidence. It's more about giving. It's more about peace. It's more about passion. It's more about, you know, just living the life that you want without caring what anybody else would say or think of you, because this is how you like to live it, because you don't owe it to anybody to put on any face so you just get accepted in an industry. You just live it, and you do your business this way, you present yourself this way, you have a certain structure of who you want to do business with, and you don't change that structure because you have passive income coming in. You don't have to change that structure to fit in anybody else's box to be able to do business with them. And I think that's the biggest blessing that I have in my business right now, because we could be selective on who we do business with.
Who do you want to do business with? Like, who is your avatar, whether it be on the investor side or like partnership side, or the target audience that you're trying to reach when sell your product, your the homes, whatever, right? But like, who do you say that I want to do business with? Blank, blank, blank. Who are these people?
Right now, I do a lot of business with people who are just very, very successful people. Like when it comes to like partnerships, these are people that own $10 million, $100 million portfolios. There's a guy that he sold his company in California for $110 million. There is a guy, he's a good friend of mine. He had like 14 ice cream shops in town. If I'm not mistaken, that's the number. I have another friend of mine that owned almost half of Portsmouth downtown. That owns one of the biggest commercial buildings in Norfolk with government contracts, making a lot of money, and most of the time he's traveling. Um, just these are the type of people that I like doing business with. And the other side of it, like on the operation side, I like to do business with people that they're loyal and I can trust them and I can close my eyes and say, hey, I don't have to worry about you. I don't have to keep watching my back. And I'm very selective with those people because they also could, make your break your business. So that's why I bring in one or two guys at the same time and I watch them very closely. And I and I give them the freedom, you can go ahead and do this and do that and just kind of see how they do it. Because having one person that does quarter million or half a million in income, or having 10 people or 20 people that make $25,000 a year, it's just not comparable. I would rather have that one or two people that do half a million dollar, $250,000 in income, and I'm close with them. I go out with them, and I trust them in my circle, and I don't have to be careful with anything. That comes with operation. As far as everything else, I bring in like independent contractors, for example, bookkeeper, property manager, and banker, or any other like construction crew. They coming in, they do their work, and then they get paid. If they don't do good work, they go and hire somebody else to do the work. But people who are close to me,
All right.
very selective. And that's been helpful, because help with your peace, it help with your just kind of help you be around people with good energy that want you to win, see you win, and actually get happy. And that's very important. Believe it or not, you could have a lot of friends around you, but which one of them will help you win? Which one of them will, you know, actually get happy when you're making progress in life? And that's very rare to find.
Nice. So on this journey, like, what are some things that you had to unlearn and relearn, right? To position yourself where you are. Are some things that, no, just off the bat, I had to stop operating like this.
So I think um, you should be careful who you take advice from. I took advice. I'm a person that easily trust people because I want to see the good in everybody. So, and I always value everybody because, that's how I was raised. So I valued and trusted the wrong people along the way, thinking that they want the best for me, but it wasn't like that. So really learning human emotions and being self-aware and keeping your circle small. And also, I spent a lot of time building teams. So I would just do more research, see what's best gonna fit my personality or what I really trying to achieve. So building a big team or big operation wasn't something I was interested in. I want a big portfolio, but I don't want to be on the operation side or overseeing anything. So that's pretty much it. I would do those two things.
Nice. I have this question, right, that I ask, or I say, I no, you never would have thought blank, blank, and blank. But I find that I kind of rephrase the question to say I've always knew blank, blank, and blank. And I rephrase the question to read like that because I find that a lot of times with us entrepreneurs or people who are purpose driven, we are dreamers and we want to elevate our life and take our life from here to here. And with this vision, it consists of certain things, right? And these things are the blank, blank, and blank, whether it be the lifestyle, my fitness, whatever, like some things you always knew. So whenever they manifested into your life, or God bless you with them, right? You weren't surprised about these things. So what are a few things that you always knew that your life would be like this? Are you planning intentionally for it to be like this? What are a few things?
I designed it, again, it's all glory to God, it's all thank to him, but this is the vision that I had. And I we talked about this, I believe, you gotta have a
Mhm.
destination where you want to go when you praying to God, you can just say, God, hey, I want just give me wealth and health. That's not something how I pray. I'm very specific about what we're requesting, what we're praying for, what we're grateful
Mhm.
for, and it's very detailed. And then what we need to put in the work for, because you give God the destination, you're willing to do whatever it takes, and He will guide you there. You still have to walk the walk, but He will tell you which way you need to go to be able to get there as soon as possible, and He'll protect you from all evil that could come to, you know, your path. I always knew years before the life that I'm living today, I was visualizing it. And I know for a fact, if I pray for it, if I'm grateful for what I have, it's going to continue happening, and we're going to continue to have these blessings. Um, I just think it's a blueprint, and everybody can follow that blueprint and get the same result. Because if you pay attention, all these success coaches, all these mentors, and all these books, they all talk about the same thing, but just some more technical, some more with science, as scientific information, and some with
Right.
just different saying. But by the end of the day, everybody says work hard and have a good mindset, be grateful for what you have, and just learn skills. And now I simplified that, and according to my personality, I was designed a blueprint that works for me, and I designed the same blueprint that works for my business, and I keep moving forward. So I know when it comes to houses, we've done it so many times. I think we got like 4 houses to buy yesterday, and out of four, I haven't seen any of them. And then, but
Right.
I've done video calls, I've done pictures, and you have those numbers and everything figured out, and you've done it so many times, you can look at it and say, okay, this is what I want, and this is how many deal I need to buy to be able to hit that number. When I hit that number, this is how many buy and holds that I need to purchase to generate this cash flow. Then this is my life expenses. Now my cash flow covers my life expenses. Now my wife and kids, they love traveling, so we're gonna travel more. I personally love cars. I'm gonna buy a car that I like because I enjoy driving it. My wife wants to live in a waterfront house or wants to live in a farm. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and look for. Um, and at the same time, I want to stick to that blueprint. The blueprint is gonna stay the same. The numbers, the goals, the stuff that you want is just gonna change. You gotta update that every single year. And that's what we do. We have our goals and daily goals, yearly goals, quarterly goals. Always we review that and we update it as we go. So we just keep making progress.
Nice, bro. What? So when you said that, like, hey, like just yesterday, you closed on 4 homes, right? And you didn't see any of them. And I had a call this morning. Actually, I think I got a call this afternoon with a guy because I'm, just looking at some more lead gen operation approaches um, for my acquisitions, right? So, but the fact that you bought 4 houses yesterday, right?
Well, to correct you there, I got 4 houses for on the contract to
You
purchase.
got 4 houses under contract, so
Yeah,
that's 4 potential deals which
yeah.
you
But
will
we're gonna
close
buy
and buy
about
purchase in the future.
6 to 8 houses this month. Yeah.
And it is February 16th.
Yes.
Nice. So my question is for those watching, what what are some key things you have in place, systems, like what operating, like are you cold calling, are you texting, are you sending mailers, like how are you like transacting, like what do these transactions looks like, these conversations look like, the solicitation look like in order to get 4 properties under contract and to be able to potential close on these properties and scale your portfolio the way you've been doing it.
I'm um I'm always watching. I have a sales team. Obviously, we do cold call, we do the marketing. Any type of marketing strategy it's out there, we're doing it. So we pick up one or two from each different strategy, right? It's no magic
Right.
pill, magic secret that it's out there that's gonna get you a lot of deals. But one thing that we do is we never stop looking. We're constantly communicating. We're constantly communicating with the sellers, with agents, with wholesalers. So I know every single deal that gets pushed out either on MLS or off market. I'm pretty sure I know every single one of them. And we act quickly. So a lot of investors, oh, my
So
contractor comes out and this. I have my acquisition manager on the appointment within 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes, they're going to have an offer from me, cash, ready to close 7 to 14 days. And us just knowing what properties we're going to buy and our numbers, our construction, everything is outlined. We have good experience. So we collect all different lead sources and we act quickly
mhm.
and we build good relationships. Like, I had this morning before you call me, I had a real estate agent. She's a good friend of mine. Her and her family, I've done business with them over time. She found off market property. She called me. She said, this is the number we need to be at. I didn't call anybody else. I don't want to get any offer from anybody else. This is ARV. Are you good to go? We did a video call. I told her send the contract. Now that deal is gonna make $40,000, $50,000. We did another seller. She gave us the deal for $1. It was a lot. We turned it around and signed it at $32,000. Um, and just that we followed up with that seller
A
over time as
dollar,
well. A dollar. Yeah.
a,
One.
a dollar.
Yeah.
Why would someone sell a
Let me
property
show you proof.
that is worth 32,000 for a dollar?
Motivation. She was
Huh?
motivated to let it go. I'm gonna show you this so you can see it. Um, and with the obviously attorneys, I'm gonna cover the. I don't know if you're gonna see it. I'm gonna cover the address. But if you see,
Yeah.
hold on. Okay, so you see it says $1, and it's right on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
The purchase price $1.
Yeah.
And then the sales price settlement part
Wow.
is
That's
just
the smallest.
and they're out there,
That's the smallest HUD I've ever seen in my life.
so we do stuff like that. But again, it's really we do every different strategy, very relationship based, react really quickly. And we have our money ready, our construction crew ready, our team is ready. My main guy, he's extremely hungry. He's I can call and say, hey, we got a deal. You need to be in Williamsburg, like you need to leave right now. And he'll be on the road like right away. So because we're trying
That's
to out we're trying to like really stand out when it comes to like the speed of we get things done because this is a competitive market. Obviously, you can make good money flipping houses or wholesaling houses or buying multifamily, but it's who acts quicker and puts the deal in escrow. Now, a lot of times, somebody offers a higher price. However, um, and we lose on deals, but we always tell people we're fair, and I'm not gonna buy overpriced deals to just buy deals. I don't have the best numbers when it comes to making offers, but I act the quickest. It's a simple, easy process. It goes to the attorney. You're not going to hear anything from the attorney until like it's the day of closing, and it gets done that quickly.
that's incredible. What is a misconception that people have about entrepreneurship or business in general?
Couple of things. People are owned by their businesses. Do not let
Hmm.
your business run you. You're supposed to run your business. Couple of things. People are owned by their businesses. Do not let
Hmm.
your business run you. You're supposed to run your business. The hustle culture says, hey, you have to do it all. You have to multitask. You have to take on more and more and more and more. If your whole lifestyle is owned by your business, by your career, you're not really living. Don't get stuck in your business. A business is not meant to be your life. It's meant to be a tool that you could use to then live. Living is very important because a lot of people forget to do that because we get caught up in obviously making improvements, but we get used to it. We always obviously want to keep growing and growing and growing. We get used to it. We forget to live. So make sure your business doesn't own you. You have an exit plan. You know when to get out, and you design a system up front with an opportunity for yourself to take a step back. If you run a real estate company, either hire the right people or just make a lot of money for 5 to 10 years, buy passive income properties. Don't over leverage yourself, and maybe buy payoff properties, whatever, however you want to structure it. But then you have an option to take a step back to pursue the life you're passionate about, not the life that you got used to because you got used to hustle culture. You just make sure you kind of stay true to yourself and you stay healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually. At the same time, build your financial independence and your financial freedom, but don't let money be your main focus. So that what I would say it's something that I'm glad I figured out at some point in my career because I was that guy where I was obsessed and lost in the world of business and ego and greed and just trying to do it all and satisfy all and do business with all and kind of like just chasing the next bigger check. But finding yourself and knowing, well, this is good and I want to make progress and I want to improve, but at the same time, I want to work out, I want to eat healthy, I want to travel, I want to wake up and dance with my kid this morning. I want to wake up and today just lay down on the grass and just take sunshine for 30 minutes. No, hey, I have to wake up, let me smoke a cigarette, chug it, 24-ounce cup of coffee, and just run all day and get home at like 10 p.m. or 7 p.m. That my mind is filled with all the stuff that I put into it all day now, I don't have no time for my family, no time for my kid. So I'm not going to invest in my health. I have no time to go to the gym, no time to read a book, no time to pray or meditate or do anything that I'm passionate about or any hobbies. I'm just a robot. Now, I'm not saying anything wrong with doing that because you're sacrificing 3 to 5 years to be able to design a lifestyle that you want. But make sure between that 3 to 5 years that you do that, you know when it's time to get out. So that's what always do the workout, read the books and pray and read the Bible to make sure you never lose touch with what actually matters in this life. It's not about money. It's about living a life that you design in your own terms and doing just truly finding out what God put you on this planet to do. If I was to give like, you know, some practical steps into kind of structure the life and your goals and plans would be number one would be set a reason a why you want to live the life that you want to do and why would you sacrifice your time and your freedom in order to achieve that, and make sure you have clear vision of where you're trying to go, the destination that you setting, the goal is yearly, quarterly, or a decade from now, what lifestyle you want to live and what you want to be doing, how much money you're trying to making, and be very specific about those goals. And it'll be like educate yourself so you're actually always learning those skills that's going to help you to get there, and pray about it, be mentally prepared, see yourself there and be emotionally prepared, and then put in the work and then create relationships on the way that's going to help you with other people that share the same vision, the business people, the people who want to be where you want to be at the same time, or people who are already there and they just want to help you out. So these are very important, but all of these come with a structure, with a vision, with a plan that you need to design, because if you don't have a life that you designed yourself, a vision and a goal, then you're just going to go ahead and consume everything that media is feeding you or other people are feeding you or somebody else will design it for you. So if you don't stay disciplined to your goals, you're going to be basically taking a little pieces of here and there from everybody else that's trying to influence you in different direction. So I think discipline is the ultimate form of freedom, because no amount of influence can change the way that you want to live your life, your values in your life. Let's just say you want to wake up every single day at 5 o'clock in the morning, right? And you want to never drink alcohol. So no matter how many times a friend is telling you let's go drink, or a media is pushing drinking and doing drugs, they're just feeding people's mind, you're disciplined. You have the ultimate freedom, because no amount of influence from outside world is gonna change the way you decided to live your life. No amount of influence is gonna change the way you wanna eat or the way you wanna work out or keep a healthy body. No matter how much the media is pushing, hey, don't worry about being overweight, or don't worry about eating healthy food, just eat junk food, or just do alcohol and drugs and all the stuff you see in the movies. You don't get influenced by that, because first of all, that's not the information you feed in your brain. Number two is your disciplined living life on your own terms with the values that you want to live, not what other people are telling you. So that for
Indeed.
me is ultimate freedom.
Indeed, bro. I think I love that, man. Um, I love I love that. And what I've learned also, kind of speaking on the same topic, is that saying yes to something that is not aligned or conducive to your end goal or where you're trying to go, you're also saying yes to the delay, right? You're accepting delay. Okay, if I say yes to, I'm gonna go and just drink with you, or not watch my diet, I'm also saying yes to diabetes. I'm
Yeah.
also saying yes to like other things that come with being an alcoholic, right? Or not being, like, and I'm saying no to my goals, right? Why? Because you don't have the energy to
put into your business because you are all sluggish. You are becoming unfulfilled with the way that you look. All these different things. There's a lot of the implied yeses and a lot implied nos associated with our day-to-day decision making, right? Whenever we are not making decisions that are not aligned to our goals. So I definitely think that watching your no's and watching your yeses is super, super important. And it seems as though you definitely mastered that. So I think that that's incredible. I think speaking of no's and yeses, what are some, lastly, in closing, before I ask you about your expert opinion on the industry, the market, and things like that, what are some of your daily and weekly habits that you had to create for yourself, and you have to, like, I need to do this every single day, I need to do this every single week to be able to sustain the foundation of what it is that I've built?
Um, for the last 10 years, I've been writing affirmation and goals and visions every single day. Um, I've missed here and there, but been very consistent with it. So I set intentions every single day, what I'm trying to achieve and what my goals and visions and where I'm trying to go in life looks like. And I think that's been really helpful for me to stick to it over this time. And another thing is that it's changed a little bit right now, but I'm always consuming helpful information or self-help or anything about business. I'm constantly learning. Third
Are you
thing
still
would be,
going to Barnes and Nobles on the weekend?
yes. Well, it's not as many times I used to. Anytime I feel lost, trying to go a direction, I don't know which direction to go, and I feel like, scanning through books and God is going to put that answer in front of me. Still do that, but not as often. Right now, I do a lot of book summaries. I really enjoy doing it. I read what other people learned from that book, and it helps me to like maybe read like 2 books in a night, but just the summaries, the important parts, and I really enjoy doing it. It's actually a little hobby for me that I do before going to bed. Education has been very important to me. Writing my goals and specifically what I want to do and what I want, visualizing it. It's been like really helpful. Obviously, praying for it. Being very consistent with that. Also, learning about compound effect. Just not understanding that. When I invested in real estate, I have 45 rentals, but we still didn't own a home.
Right.
I still drove the same car that I was driving when I didn't have any money, because I knew if I keep putting back into it, the compound effect is going to add up. And at some point, it's just going to be a snowball going down the hill because I'm keep pushing it. But I was keep putting more fuel on this system or on this portfolio instead of just trying to take from it. So just understanding that really helped me, because I keep putting the income I was generating, I keep putting money into investment over and over and over and over again. And all of a sudden people are like, oh, this guy didn't look like he had that big of a portfolio, because I sacrificed the instant results for a long-term compound effect on my portfolio, but it took it 5 years to be I can enjoy the fruits. It's just like a baby. You can expect a baby feeding you. You have to invest in the baby, to learning, in growing it, and over time when the baby grows, and now the baby could be a help in your life, right? It's not a baby
So
anymore.
I want to speak on that, bro, because now my question to this on this topic, right, of delayed gratification, there's an element of good financial stewardship going on here that allowed you to be able to be in this position. This is not uncommon for people who were not born and raised in the United States. Yes, there are people who in that are part of the Western culture, born and raised here, that are able to get it, right? But the masses are very much consumers. Take on the lifestyle of immediate gratification. I have to have the best of this, have to have the best of that, right? Which is essentially eating and wearing their wealth. Were you raised that way? Like, how did you take on this mindset? I got the money now. I'm gonna buy the Lambo now. Because you've been talking about before it was a Lambo, it was a Porsche,
Hmm.
and you were talking about the Porsche like for a long time. But like you said, nah, I'm in the Hyundai. I'm gonna keep the Hyundai. I'm gonna keep the
Hmm.
Hyundai. But you were talking about Porsches. Like, I'm like,
For a long
bro, just
time.
buy the
In
Porsche.
2019, yeah.
Yeah, right. And so, was this a cultural? Were you just raised this way to be able to, logically understand why you should deny gratification and invest in yourself for the whole compound um, effect, or what? Like, how'd you learn that?
A lot of people get rich, right? And then the crypto, whatever e-com, they get rich, right? But then they take the money that they generated, then they invest it on luxuries or stuff that they're interested in doing, like traveling or whatever that makes them happy, right? But I think the smart way would be this what I did. I took all that money and I bought assets. And I said, well, now that money is growing as inflation is going up, we growing with appreciation. And then I'm also getting tax credit on my active income. So I can then make a couple $1 million and then have this real estate portfolio offset the taxes that I have to pay because of the appreciation. And then at the same time, the tenant is paying down my loan. Great. And on top of that, I'm generating income. Now I can take that income that my money is producing, the money still being there and growing, and I can invest that into luxuries. So before I buy any cars that I wanted, I spend the same amount of cash. And when I bought a real estate for it, and then I borrowed the money to get the car. Then I have the real estate pay off the car. Now then my money for the car is going to stay there. My rental property is going to pay off the car. The car is going to hold some value. And when the car is paid off, I'm still going to have the income from that real estate plus more because of appreciation. Plus I'm getting tax benefit. Plus I buy the car in some type using some type of business way, then I can write the expenses for a car as a tax write-off too because I'm using it in marketing or commercial or
Yeah, I saw that you had a nice
yeah,
commercial the other day. That was a nice commercial
yeah.
you did.
So stuff like that
Yeah.
I try to do. So anything I want to buy luxury except traveling and food. That's something me and my wife we do not go cheap on that. We when we take trips, we really take trips. We go to Hawaii, stay 20 days or 14 to 20 days, and we just really just relax and have fun. When it comes to food, we spend on a lot of money on really quality ingredients, and we spend a lot of money on eating really quality food. The only thing I do, I believe, is not good is just energy drinks, or coffee. But she doesn't do that. She never drinks any type of caffeine drinks. She just does green tea. And when it comes to quality food, she makes everything from scratch. We never use any preserved type of sauce or anything like that we buy that is non-organic or, any type of, it just messed with, it's just
Right.
everything is 100% organic and made from scratch. And our home cooked foods are 100% made from scratch.
Of course, you've already mentioned Dan Hardy a lot with the compound effect. But what are some other books that you really enjoy and that have really stood out to you? Books and maybe quotes, right? That you've adopted, these concepts or principles in these books or wisdom from these quotes and applied to your life. What are some things that stand out to you?
Um, as far as books, I'm gonna pull out my library so I can tell you. There's one book I forgot to tell you the first time called The Courage to Be Disliked. It's a
Okay.
book that you need to listen to or read it twice, but I really like it.
Yeah, no, I've
Um,
read it. I've read it on the audio book. I need to probably go back and
it's,
uh and,
it,
and read it.
it took me twice to really get it. Again, obviously, that's just me, but in the first time I listened to it, but second time just it was more. It just connected with it more. I told you about the voice of knowledge. You know, we learn some things, the knowledge or the voice in our head that's always telling us you're not good enough, you're not gonna make it. It just tells you, hey, you need to unlearn that. Now, in another book calls it the monkey mind. It's the monkey in your head that keeps doing this every time you're trying to take a step forward and make a change in your life because you're designed to, your mind is designed to protect you. So, voice of knowledge or the monkey mind, same concept, but one is more psychology. This one is more
Right.
like philosophy. Um, if you want to read the book about being a man and just stuff like that, there's also philosophy, the meditations. That's really good. One of my favorite books of all time is The Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Basically saying, hey, everything is inside you. If
Hmm.
your happiness or anything comes from exterior, that's where you end up just always chasing a high. You know, I want to be around the friends, then I'm happy. I want to have the car, then I'm happy. I'm gonna close this deal, then I'm happy. It's not like that. That you should have peace and happiness and being content from inside, and you can do that by observing your daily, because 40% of what you do is habit. So one day and sit and observe your thoughts. There's so many thoughts that passes your mind that influence your life you're not even paying attention to. So basically, this one tells you how to clear those thoughts and then focus from inside by doing meditations and other strategies that he says.
Right.
Um, Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. On the real estate side, simple books, the book on rental properties, or the book on rental property investing by Brandon Turner. Very simple book. On the sales side, if you want to read a sales book, Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone, Fanatical Prospecting, very good book, and New Sales Simplified. These are sales books that I've been listening to for a long time.
You said New Sales Simplified?
New Sales Simplified, but I really like Fanatical Prospecting. Um, Commercial real estate book, Crushing It in Apartments and Commercial Real Estate. That's really good. Another sales book, kind of sales book, is The Closer Survival Guide by Grant Cardone. I've listened to that many times. Um, yeah, these are my more technical real estate books. Raising Private Capital. That's a good book. Apartment Syndication by Joe Fairless. Um, and I got two other books, which is on this other phone that I'm listening to, but just they're all about financing and raising capital and building crowdfunding platforms and stuff like that.
Is that your ultimate goal?
It's something I always wanted to do, but not at a syndication level, or when I say crowdfunding, not um, at accredited investor level, like people who can chip in like $1 million minimum. So I
Right.
would
So
have 10 people with $1 million each instead of having 1,000 people with like $10,000 each.
right, and you more so looking to bring the deal to the table, oversee the acquisition and disposition and value add and things like that, right? And then using their money. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically we put like 10 people at $1 million. We create like a private equity, you could call it, or hedge fund, whatever you can call it. And then we leverage that money to buy like $100 million assets that they have major loan pay down, major income, and you could have an on-site manager. You could have a full-time employees just working on that one property. So that's where we want to go, and I'm slowly dropping hints as I go, putting a seed in people's mind. We're creating a capital company. Going from a day-to-day investor to like a fund manager that we can acquire larger properties. With syndications, usually whoever manages the general partners usually total own 30% off the deal,
Right.
which in that 30%, then there's a contractor, there's a guy that brings the EMD, there's the acquisition guy, and there is like the property manager. All are in that 30%. So
Right.
you might end up owning 5% of, 200 units. I don't want to go that option. I wanted to be more like two guys on one deal, like we're the 50%, they're the 50%, or we own 70%, the investors own 30%, and still have good returns. So I don't want to do a lot of deals with small percentage of ownership. I want to do very few deals, one or two big 10 to $100 million deals that we have like 80 to 90% or 70 to 80% ownership. And our investors, private investors, own the rest while they trust us to double and triple the value of the property over 3 to 5 years. Or
Nice,
1 year,
nice.
or 2 years.
Awesome, man. One thing I said before, and I'll tell you again, I think that a big thing that a lot of people that find themselves having a lot of accomplishments under their belt, I find that these people are givers, right? And I don't know if you knew it or not, but you are a giver, right? And you also have given a lot of people, including myself, an opportunity to come and be exposed, come into rooms and see things that they may have not been able to see before due to their own merit, their own hard work, or what have you. And I know, like, just reflecting, there was times like we had like the red circle, no, red pen, some dialer, right? Just systems that allowed myself to have access to and allowed me to be able to go and be exposed to these things. So now I have these things for myself, and I give my systems, my prop streams, my whatever software access to other people, and I do these things and allow them to have access because it was done for me. So again, I'm not surprised that you are where you are. I
Thank
think
you.
if
Appreciate
you
that.
help a lot of people, enough people get to where they want to go, by default you'll get to where you want to go. So I want to publicly say thank you for just always being someone that is willing to help out and help lift somebody that's trying to go somewhere.
Yeah, 100%. I always appreciate you. I appreciate you staying in contact. I always enjoyed, you always had God in your life. And one thing I really respect about you, you're really polite, well spoken, well dressed. I see your consistency with everything, and I always respect that. Just you're a very well put together person. This is someone that I can trust, just because the way you carry yourself says a lot about you and who you are. So that's a big thing for me that I really like about you.
No, I appreciate it, bro. I think, like yourself, when it comes to business and life overall, it's something rehearsed. It's something that you've been intentionally doing and planning, and trying to do, and I've always been intentional about what I do, what I don't do, what I wear, what I don't wear, how I smell even, right?
Yeah,
Because all of that
that's important.
matters. And before people know you, all they know is what they see. And what comes out of your mouth is just a reflection of what's on your heart, right? And in
100%.
my opinion, well, not my opinion, the Bible and Proverbs says that. So yeah, man, I just be trying to walk it out, man. But awesome, man. I definitely appreciate that. Appreciate you taking the time out to be able to speak with me today. You have any closing comments, any shout outs that you want to put out there before we get out of here?
Sure. A couple of things real estate related. You make money in real estate when you buy, not when you sell. And if you're new in real estate and you just trying to learn, make sure you surround yourself with, other investors that are actively closing deals in your market and provide some value to their business. Go the extra mile, but get yourself around them and get their help, because they're the one actually doing what you're trying to do in the market, and they're not just coaches, or they're not just training, they're actively closing deals. That's very important. And again, have some intention when it comes to your business or you're living your life, and set your goals and have your vision, so you don't just change direction all the time. You stay focused, you stay on track, and then trust God with the decisions that you make, because those are the right decisions based on that plan that you have for your life. That's very important. I'm sure you can succeed by following the steps. And that's about it. I want to thank you for your time, and I just want to give one last time say, you know, everything that I do and I have, it's because of God, and you know, I'm God made. I'm not self made.
Indeed.
And you know, his I can't ignore or close my eyes in his presence in my life and the way that he's putting me in certain directions or in certain rooms or in contact with certain people that completely changed my life. And I'm grateful for all the blessings that he has provided for me. And I'm excited for the future to see what he has and you know he has planned for me and my family.
Indeed, man, you are a great example of a co-laborer with God. You know, you doing your part and God going above and beyond to, you know, make sure that when you take your next step, that you have that you're walking into something, right? And you have ground to walk on, you know, because a lot of this is walking in faith and walking on water, right? You know, really, you know, a lot of we are walking miracles coming from where we come from. I mean, again, going from $280 to 17 million is evidence of God.
100%.
Evidence of God, man.
Amen.
That's that. That's gonna be the title of this podcast, by the way, on my thumbnail for sure. $280 to 17 million with Mahan and Divin Real Estate Group, man. So
Perfect.
awesome, man. I really appreciate it. Good people, thank you for tuning in. I hope you take these pearls, you regurgitate them, and you apply them. These words, these wisdoms, these gems, this insight to your life. Remember, put God first, and you know you do your part, and He gonna do the rest. All right, peace.
100%. All right. It was good talking to you. Talk to you later.